The morning of April 20th, 2023 finds our cameras located in Youngstown, Ohio, more specifically, the suburb of Briar Hill. This is home to the Ohio Central's Briar Hill Yard, conveniently located next to the largest customer on this part of the railroad, Vallourec Star. One of the largest steel pipe producers across North America, the Youngstown location provides for the majority of Ohio Central's traffic through this area. Our main focus would be on documenting a pair of Ohio Central's maroon and yellow EMD GP11 locomotives, numbered 8712 and 8702, built in 1956 and 1954 respectively. These two locomotives were also on the EPA's scrapping list that was released earlier this year. If you want to learn more about this, read the link posted in the description or click the iCard in the top right-hand corner of your screen.
Start bringing them back, first push is line.
The duo of maroon locomotives back out of the engine tracks, then pull forward over the entrance to the Vallourec Star steel mill to work the yard in Briar Hill. We relocated to the other side of Briar Hill Yard, and it gives us a view of one of the former Syro Steel warehouses. This particular building housed a rolling mill, where sheets of galvanized steel were rolled into coils for easier transport, whether it be by rail or by truck. Syro Steel closed down in 2018, and the buildings were sold to a developing company based out of Libsyn. At the time of filming, we aren't sure what the fate of this massive rolling mill is, but we can only assume that it will be torn down in the near future, due to a crane truck and a crew removing the stacks off the top of the factory while waiting for our train. The duo of vintage GP11s finally appear into view, with a long string of gondolas behind them. Like I said earlier, Vallourec Star produces mainly steel pipes, which Ohio Central interchanges to and from CSX transportation, just west a ways in Ohio Junction Yard, on the outskirts of Briar Hill. Today, our target locomotives would be bringing a train of these steel pipes to Ohio Junction, for CSX to take west on a train symboled B521. But not before picking up a pair of steel coil cars sitting on a nearby track. This allowed us to get ahead of the train to catch them one more time at a crossing just down the road. Due to how inaccessible Ohio Junction is, this is the best we saw of their time switching here. In the meantime, we stumble across Norfolk Southern C37, running east on the Lordstown Secondary light power back towards Hazleton Yard. This train carried tank cars filled with toxic chemicals from the East Palestine derailment earlier this year to Lordstown, Ohio, in order to be properly decontaminated. EMD SD40-2 3287 and GP38-2 5183 are the power. Both of these locomotives have been fitted with Norfolk Southern's specially designed Admiral cabs to optimize comfort while operating. We jump ahead of the train one more time to shoot them at the Old Erie bracket signal as they blow the horn for the Division Street crossing past our cameras. We rush down the road in order to get a shot of CSX I-135 rolling west towards Chicago. But soon we hear something over the radio that makes us change our direction completely.
747-20, over.
Shelby occupying your number 1, main east direction. Switches at BG 79.5, both return to home position, lock, double check for the main, over.
Alright, west end, Ohio Junction switches are line locked back normal for 1 main, and you are on the move eastbound. Alright, thank you. I'll talk to you when you're ready to come back out of YNA.
Alright, thank you very much, and we'll give you a shot when we're done. C747-20 out.
We expected the Ohio Central locomotives to run back to Briar Hill Yard and go out of sight for the rest of the day. But instead, they got a trek warrant to proceed east over CSX towards the Youngstown and Austintown branch. We set up along Waverly Avenue to watch the maroon pair shove towards the entrance of the line. With the customers along the Youngstown and Austintown branch dwindling, we made sure to document this operation the best we could. We are set up at the North Bella Vista Avenue crossing to watch 8712 and 8702 work their way up the grade towards Austintown. The bulkhead flat car was spotted at the entrance of the branch and needed to be picked up before this shot. Next, we see them cross the busy North Meridian Road. In the background is United Freezer and Storage, which is one of the customers that no longer receives the rail service along the YNA. Just past the Hendricks Road crossing, the power cuts away from the two steel cars. Curious as to what they could be doing, we followed them up the road to see them stopped outside of the single-stall engine servicing shed at the end of the branch. And when I mean the end, I mean the very end. Our curiosity was filled when we realized what was happening: a power swap. The crew gets on Pittsburgh and Ohio Central 8702 and detaches it from 8712. They then back 8702 into the engine shed. And when she pulls back out, it reveals a recently worked on Ohio Central 2162, a GP38-2 built in 1973. This is one of the many locomotives that was painted in the G&W paint scheme for the Ohio Central.
Wow, that thing don't stop for crap anymore either. Half. 20. 10. 5 feet. And good.
After coupling 2162 to the rear of 8712, the crew reverses 8702 into the shops to be worked on. Heading back to Hendricks Road, we see the new leader for our train reattached to the cars of loaded steel. These two cars would be unloaded at the nearby Penn, Ohio Logistics. Something interesting to note here is how the steel is unloaded. The train backs into the building itself, and a crane is swung over from another part of the factory to unload the steel off the flatbed. From there it is put onto trucks and shipped off to wherever it needs to be. The whole process took around an hour and a half, and before you knew it, they are back off down the branch.
You're on board, down to go.
Working with the backlighting, we shoot the train at the very beginning of the branch as it crosses Salt Springs Road and enters back onto CSX rails. After receiving permission back to Ohio Junction from the CSX dispatcher, they proceed back towards Briar Hill in order to do some more out-of-sight switching. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe hit the notification bell as to not miss any future uploads.